Samarine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Welcome again another night. Sorry for stressing your day and elastically expanding your day. With the transcendental vibration, you are going to sleep. So that's a good symptom. Let us get into the real crux of Isopanisad. So before, I wanted to give you a foundation, but Rajeshwara Prabhu advised me to do that as an introduction to Bhagavad Gita, because most of it is covered in introduction to Bhagavad Gita. So he said me to finish the Isopanisad and then we'll have the foundation. Okay. Now going into mantra 1, we are going to start seeing what Isopanisad is all about. Before that, I would like to give an overview of the sections which are there in this, which we will be seeing. Just a second. Okay. So we are going to see now, starting the Isopanisad again, every book which we are going to see, we are going to divide it into sections of relevant topics. It's not like we just mechanically go mantra 1, mantra 2, mantra 3 like this. Every book has a logical presentation. So we are going to see that based on that logical presentation. So here, if you see Isopanisad, already I discussed with you some sections on the first day. So now the first section, which we are going to, already we saw introduction, and then we saw invocation, right? And now we will be seeing mantra 1 to 3. Everything talks about a particular topic. What is that topic? Krishna, the Lord, is the supreme proprietor of everything. We are seeing so many things in this world. Everything belongs to Krishna, and he is the proprietor of everything. So this is what we are going to see. Okay, so somebody can read this, because where we are heading to, you should know. So one person can read introduction portion, one person invocation. Others kindly listen attentively. Just because somebody is reading, it's not that you should be inattentive. Kindly listen. Yeah. Somebody can start reading Sri Isopanisad overview. Introduction.
Should I?
Yes, go ahead.
Shri Isopanisad overview. Introduction. In the introduction, Srila Prabhupada establishes the definition of Veda and the need to take guidance from the Vedas. Sri Isopanisad is directly Vedic literature, being part of the Shruti.
Okay.
Invocation. The invocation describes the objective of the book, the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. By repeated recognition of his various types of completeness, Sri Upanishad establishes the supreme position and power of the personality of Godhead.
All of you got it? Because you all read this, so I understand that you all have read and understood introduction and invocation. And this is the summary. Now we are going to see mantra 1 today, and very quickly in 2-3 days, we will be seeing the first 3 mantras. All of them are talking about the proprietorship and the law of God. Two things. Mainly, he is the proprietor of everything. Whatever you see, whatever you don't see. For example, you look at the sky, many stars are there. Is there somebody living there? Yes, in Devaloka, somebody living in moon planet, somebody living. Who is the proprietor? Lord is the proprietor. What do you see in the earth? You see many things. Lord is the proprietor. But relatively, we are talking about, okay, whom does this belongs to? Okay, I have something. Whom does this mobile belong to? If somebody asks, I say that it belongs to me. Naturally, right? So that is my quota, which is given by Krishna to me. So knowing what is the quota which is given to me by Krishna, like a rental place, I should not encroach upon another's property. This is very essential because everything belongs to Krishna and Krishna sets aside our quota and we have to remain with that quota and we should not encroach into other person's quota. So this is going to be the first verse. And of course, we'll see the second and third, but they are all going to talk about it. Now, somebody can read this overview of mantra 1 to 3.
Mantras 1 to 3 Proprietorship and the Laws of God. The invocation explained that the personality of Godhead is perfectly complete, as are his energies. Srila Prabhupada comments that all forms of incompleteness are due to incomplete knowledge of the complete whole.
Yes, so we should know the knowledge of the complete whole, which is he is the proprietor of everything, and whatever little bit I am getting is my quota. As my quota set aside as my quota, I need to play with that quota only. We should not encroach into another's quota. And that quota is nothing but temporarily to play with this world, to live. Krishna has set aside my quota. This we should be clear. So we'll just see the first one. Everything belongs to God. One should thus recognize the Lord. Recognize the Lord in the consumption of the quota set us. Second is, okay, this is my quota. Knowing this, I won't encroach into another's quota. Point number one. Second, even that consumption of the quota, I will recognize God. That it's not mine. It is Krishna's. He has given it to me. So that recognition we need to have. Of course, we'll come back to mantra 2 and 3 little later. Okay. So this is also a memory verse. So it's better to learn it before we start reading the translation and purport. So you can all repeat with me. Jai Guru Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ishavashyam idam sarvam.
Ishavashyam idam sarvam.
Yakincha jagatyam jagat.
Yatkincha jagatyam jagat.
Tena tyaktena bunjita.
Tena tyaktena bunjita.
Mam krata kashyasviddanam.
Mam krita kashyasviddanam.
Ishavashyam idam sarvam.
Ishavashyam idam sarvam.
Yakincha jagatyam jagat.
Yatkincha jagatyam jagat.
Tena taktena punjita.
Tena tyaktena bunjita.
Magrata kashyasviddanam.
Magrata kashyasviddanam.
Ishavashyam idam sarvam.
Ishavashyam idam sarvam.
Yakincha jagatyam jagat.
Yatkincha jagatyam jagat.
Tena tyaktena bunjita.
Tena tyaktena bunjita.
Mam grata kashyasviddanam.
Magrata kashyasviddanam.
So those who are going to take up the exam, go through the mugging up process. So memorization, you should start like as I told you the methodology. You just start mugging up this also. So before coming weekend is the registered participant sessions only, and that concentrates on exam and process. So in the coming Saturday, this will be evaluated these 2 verses. So I think 1 week is more than enough for the 2 verses of Isopanisad, and you should be ready before the weekend. This weekend you take to mug this up along with the translation. Okay, somebody can read that, or I myself will read the translation. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota. And one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. It was a very, very perfect verse. So in this world, if you see, there are animate things, there are inanimate things. There are moving. Stavara Jangama, this mentions. Stavara means the one which doesn't move. And Jangama means one which moves, like the tree and material things like a sofa or a table. They cannot move on their own. They are inanimate things. And among the animate things which are living entities, living beings, there are some things like tree which doesn't move, but still others, Jangama, they move, like birds, like animals. So there are, you see, whatever you see, it will fall under this 2 category, either animate or inanimate. So whatever you see within this universe, everything is controlled also, owned by the Lord. It's not that it's just left there. So things are there in the world, just left there. Nobody is the monitoring, nobody is the controller. So 2 things, he's the owner, not just the owner, he's also the controller. So it's both controlled and owned by, it is both controlled and owned by the Lord. So one should therefore accept. So that is why we should accept only those necessary for ourselves. That Lord is setting aside as our quota. If you see, a person is born with a certain opulences, certain things. Somebody may be born in a beggar's family. Somebody may be born in a very multimillionaire family. Some may be born as a dog or a cat. Somebody may be born as a deva. So whatever you're born, and after your birth, a certain aspects of life you're seeing. You're handed over certain education, certain opulences, whatever situation, that is given as our quota. And we know that it belongs to Krishna, so it doesn't belong to another person also. The other person has his own quota. Everybody has their own quota. We should not dodge into their quota also. At the same time, whatever is set aside as our quota, that is also given by Krishna only. So with the recognition of Krishna, only it has to be utilized. Otherwise, we are like a robber, robber or thief. So the thief has to be punished. So we will undergo constant punishment when we try to enjoy things in this world. Actually, it belongs to Krishna. So without Krishna consciousness, without recognizing Krishna, you try to enjoy, then you'll undergo a lot of suffering because you're a robber, you're a thief. But with the recognition of Krishna is the authorized use of anything in this world. This is a basic understanding. So first is everything animate, inanimate. So 2 things, knowing well to whom they belong doesn't mean that it's another person's quota is his and my quota is mine. No, everybody's quota is Krishna's. And Krishna is setting your quota. Don't try to dodge into others. This is the overall idea. Now let us start reading the purport. Yeah, go ahead. Somebody can start reading.
Vedic knowledge is infallible because it comes down to the perfect disciplic succession of spiritual masters, beginning with the Lord himself. Since he spoke the first word of Vedic knowledge, the source of this knowledge is transcendental. The words spoken by the Lord are called Aurusha, or
Appaurusha.
Aparu, Aparusha, which indicate that they are not delivered by any mundane person. A living being who lives in the mundane world has four defects. One, he is certain to commit mistakes. Two, he is subject to illusion. Three, he has a propensity to cheat others. And fourth, his senses are imperfect. No one with these four imperfections can deliver perfect knowledge. The Vedas are not produced by such an imperfect creature. Vedic knowledge was originally imparted by the Lord into the heart of Brahma, the first created living being. And Brahma is in his turn disseminated this disseminate this knowledge to his sons and disciples who have handed it down through history.
Very good. Thank you. So, have you gone through this before? We have gone through everything except Apurushaya. Okay. So, what is that? You remember where did you see this? All this? Have you already seen this paragraph somewhere? Prabhupada is repeating. In the introduction, did you see this?
Yes.
Yes. So we are getting the knowledge of Vedas only through spiritual masters in disciplic succession. That is because we have four defects. So this is the reason. And the word spoken by God, since he spoke the first word of Vedic knowledge, the source of this knowledge is transcendental. And the words, this one new information which you're getting here is point number one. The Vedas are spoken directly by God. That is also mentioned in the introduction. But that is why the Vedas are transcendental, because the Lord is transcendental. Whatever is coming out of him is transcendental. And his words are transcendental. Second, Appaurusheya. Paurusha means a person. Appaurusheya means not spoken by humans. Because sometimes people challenge, what here, Bhagavad Gita, another book, no, somebody has written. Then you say Krishna has written, Krishna may be an ordinary person. Like this, they argue upon the Vedas. But here, the Vedas are, another name for Veda is Appurusheya. What is that Appurusheya? Appurusheya means not written by any humans. It is written directly by the Lord and before the creation. The creation is there. Before the creation, it was there. And when Brahma is the first living being, when he is born, just Brahma is born. He is the first living being. Nobody is in the universe. The universe is not at any creation has not started. Plants, animals, nothing has started creation. That time Brahma is born. At that time, what Lord is doing? Lord is imparting this Vedic knowledge originally into the heart of Brahma. The first created living being. So he is the first created living being. And in the heart of Brahma, this Vedic knowledge was imparted. There's no reading, writing, books, this, nothing. So the Lord is imparting this knowledge in the Brahma. And then Brahma in turn, he is telling to his sons who are rishis and munis and disciplic succession through Narada Muni. So Brahma, then he tells to Narada, Narada tells to Vyasa. In this way, the disciplic succession comes along. Okay. So you got Apurusheya. This terminology is very important, that it is not spoken by humans or any other normal person. It is directly coming from the Lord. Okay. Now somebody can read another 1 or 2 paragraphs, 2, 3 paragraphs. I'll stop when it is required. Or he himself can read, whoever wants.
Since the Lord is Purusham, all perfect, there is no possible. Oh, sorry, Purnam. Since the Lord is Purnam, all perfect, there is no possibility of his being subjected to the laws of material nature, which he controls. However, both the living entities and Inanimate objects are controlled by the laws of the nature and ultimately by the Lord's potency. This Isopanishad part of the Yajur Veda and consequently it contains information concerning the proprietorship of all things existing within the universe. The Lord proprietorship over everything within the universe is confirmed in the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 7.4 to 5, where Para and Apara Prakriti are discussed. The elemental elements of nature, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego, all belong to the Lord's inferior material energy, Apara Prakriti, whereas the living being, the organic energy is his superior energy, Para Prakriti. Both of these Prakritis or energies are emanations from the Lord, and ultimately, He is the controller of everything that exists. There is nothing in the universe that does not belong to either the Para or the Apara Prakriti. Therefore, everything is the property of Supreme Being. Because the Supreme Being.
One second.
Okay.
Hold on. Like here again, we are coming across another information that this Ishopanishad is part of Yajurveda. So the Upanishad is nothing but a summary of the Veda is very, very elaborate. So Vyasadeva looked at the Vedas and they became very elaborate books. Then he was thinking how it is possible for people to learn. So he gave summary portions in Upanishads, certain aspects, important aspects of Veda. So that is called Upanishad. So this Upanishad is like a condensed knowledge of the Vedas or called Upanishads. So first it was in the form of Shruti, only hearing process. Then he compiled it into Vedas. Then after the Vedas, he wrote the summary of the Vedas Upanishads, 108. Then for the less intelligent people, Shudra, women, and relatives of Brahmana, Dvijabandhu, Sri, Shudra, Dvijabandhu. For these three people, he wrote Mahabharata, epics like a story form. In this way, he gave this Vedic scriptures. So Upanishad is nothing but like summary of Vedas. And then one of the primary Upanishad is Ishopanishad. And inside Mahabharata, he gave Gita Upanishad, that is Bhagavad Gita. That is also summary of Vedas. That is full summary of Vedas. But now here we see that the Ishopanishad is part of Yajur Veda. And this is one information which you need to note. And one more is here again, since the Lord is Purnam, all perfect, there's no possibility of being subject. He is being subject to material nature, which he controls. For example, if somebody is Purna, they cannot be controlled by another person. Second is, A is creating B. A B is a machine, for example. A is a person. He is creating a machine. That B machine is controlling many things. But A is the one who produced B. So A is not under the control of B. So you understood the completeness of the Supreme Lord and the perfection of Supreme Lord is everything is emanating from him. And if there is some item which is very powerfully controllable item, still Lord is not coming under the control because he's outside his creation. For example, I create some bottle. I'm making this bottle. So I'm outside the bottle, then only I can make the bottle. So when I create, if the Lord is creating the material world, he's creating the material universes. He's outside the material universes. So he is not subjected to the law of matter, law of the material world. He's not subjected to. He is the lawmaker, not only lawmaker, the world maker. He makes the world. So I give this water bottle and I give a manual how to use the water bottle. Same way Krishna creates the material world and he gives the Vedas. To the first person who's going to manage this universe, he is giving, okay, take the manual. I give you the manual. This is the Vedas, how this world has to be handled. What is the purpose of this world? Everything is there. Here, take it. So in this way, Lord is transcendental. This word transcendental has to be understood properly. In many, many places, Prabhupada has quoted this word. Transcendental means outside or beyond. Generally, English term, it means beyond. So, beyond three modes of material nature. Lord is transcendental to matter. So, he is beyond the matter. He is not subjected to the law of matter. So, this is another thing. However, both the living entity and inanimate objects are controlled by the law of nature. For example, there are many living entities like us, human beings, birds, animals, and all of that. Non-living things are there in the world. There are many items there in the world. All of them will undergo law of nature. For example, they'll undergo old age, expiry date, they progress towards expiry date. This is one law of material nature. So in this way, the material has its own deterioratory nature, and everybody undergoes this law of nature. Insofar you're within this body, you also have to undergo this because the body belongs to the matter, so you have to undergo the law of nature. So everybody is controlled by the law of nature. The nature itself is controlled by Krishna. Both the living entity and the material nature, Jada Prakriti, both are controlled by the Lord. So here, however, both the living entities and inanimate objects, which are Jada. So living entity is Jiva, and the Jada is inanimate objects, are all controlled by the law of nature. But Lord is not subjected. Lord is not subjected to the law of material nature. Both the living entities like law of nature and ultimately by Lord's potency. Lord has external potency and she is controlling all the living entities. So this Isopanisad is part of Yajurveda, and consequently it contains information concerning proprietorship of all the things within this universe. So the material nature is there, the external energy is there, Durga is there, and whatever this material world, whatever you're seeing in the material world, who is the owner? Sometimes we come and see, wow, this is so nice. Who owns this? It's the quota of somebody is in rental place. Rental, it's everything is temporary. So ownership is temporary. But they don't know. They are thinking it's permanent and working so hard like fools, foolishly working very hard for something which they don't own. It is just a rental till the body dies. So, but the Lord is the proprietorship over who's the owner. Everything in the universe is confirmed in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita also, where two prakritis are explained. Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. We'll come and discuss later during Bhagavad Gita. But basically here two coined words we need to know, which is Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. So Para Prakriti is nothing but, first we'll talk about Apara Prakriti, which is Bhumir Appo Analo Vayu Kammanor Buddhirevacha Ahankara Iti Amme Binna Prakriti Ashtata. That is the verse. So earth, water, fire, air, ether. Then mind, intelligence, and ego. This belongs to the Lord's lower nature or Jada Prakriti. Jada means non-living thing. In school, you would have studied living thing, non-living thing, like this. You would have studied, okay, this fan is a non-living thing. This cat is a living thing. Like this, you would have seen. Tree is a living thing. It grows, right? It produces like this. So earth, water, fire, air, and ether. This is Panchabhuta we say, plus our mind, intelligence, ego. All of this is belonging to matter or Lord's inferior energy, which you see and feel in this world as material. They belongs to material. Apara Prakriti. Apara. Para means transcendental or spiritual or Deivigam. Daivi Prakriti. Say Daivi. So this Daivi is Para. Paratattva. Today also in Guru Maharaj class, Parodharma is discussed. What is discussed today is about dharma which is followed in the material world. For some people even worship Krishna to increase their material situation. And but that is not para. That is material only. And Krishna is not very pleased with that. person without expectation. Any Rakobi, Marobi, Joy Chatohara. It's not that materially when I'm very well situated, I'll worship Krishna and that I worship Krishna for that purpose only. That is Smartha Vidhi. That is what was today's class. So here, same para word came in that class also. So para and apara. So para means transcendental, divine. So whereas the living being, the organic energy is a superior energy. So we, spirit soul, we are not the body, we are spirit soul, and we belong to Paraprakriti. So there is matter, which is apara prakriti, and we spirit soul, we belong to para prakriti. But both of these prakritis are energies. The word prakriti, shakti, all the use for energy of Krishna. So we saw three energies of Krishna: internal energy, marginal energy, and external energy. Internal energy, spiritual world, all creations of spiritual world is done. And then Srimati Radharani is the primary personality representing the internal potency. And the external potency is the material world, Jada. So this inferior energy, the internal energy is superior energy, and the material world is inferior energy. It's like a dustbin of Krishna. Dustbin of Krishna's creation. That's also so nice. We like to be enjoying, oh, this is so beautiful, so nice. You're enjoying. It's like the cat, which is in the many 2 or 3 cats will enter into the dustbin and they'll say, this Vasha is better, I like this, I like, and they'll just jump inside the drum of dustbin. Or dogs. Like that only, if we are seeing something wonderful, not wonderful, like this, we are all into the dustbin of Krishna. So this apara prakriti is jada. And we are actually superior, we are marginal potency living entities. So this external energy is material. So what are all there? You see externally this earth, water, fire, air, ether, which you see in everything is created by this only. Anything which you see physically. And then subtly there is one thing. We have our mind, we have our intelligence and identifying with the body. That is called false ego. So this mind, intelligence, ego also belong to Krishna's inferior energy. So we are inside a machine which is made up of matter, and we are actually spirit souls. We are sitting inside and we are marginal energy. So this marginal energy is para prakriti satsidananda. We are made of satsidananda. We are not made up of earth. Our body is made of earth, water, fire, and ether. But we are not made of. We are made of satsidananda. So we belong to para prakriti. So both these energies are coming out of Krishna only. So right now, Prabhupada is not talking about internal potency. He's talking about marginal potency and external potency. Marginal is in the middle. Both these Prakritis energies, emanations from the Lord, and ultimately he is the controller. Everything that exists. So there is nothing in this universe that does not belong either to, it will be either falling under the category of para prakriti or apara prakriti. In this universe, you see, everything is Jada and there's Jiva. Therefore, everything is the property, both living entities and the items which you see, everything is the property of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so read further. Somebody else can read if they want.
Because the Supreme Being, the absolute personality of Godhead, is a complete person. He has complete and perfect intelligence to adjust everything by means of his different potencies. The Supreme Being is often compared to a fire, and everything, organic and inorganic, is compared to the heat and light of that fire. Just as fire distributes energy in the form of heat and light, God displays his energy in different ways. He thus remains the ultimate controller, sustainer, and dictator of everything. He is the process of all potencies, the knower of everything, and the benefactor of everyone. He is full of inconceivable opulence, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. One should therefore be intelligent enough to know that, except for the Lord, no one is a proprietor of anything. one should accept only those things that are set aside by the Lord as his quota. The cow, for instance, gives milk, but she does not drink that milk. She eats grass and straw, and her milk is designated as food for human beings. Such is the arrangement of the Lord. Thus, we should be satisfied with those things he has kindly set aside for us, and we should always consider to whom those things we possess actually belong. Take, for example, our dwelling, which is made of earth, wood, stone, iron, cement, and so many other material things. If we think in terms of Sri Isopanisad, we must know that we cannot produce any of those building materials ourselves. We can simply bring them together and transform them into different shapes by our labor. A laborer cannot claim to be proprietor of a thing just because he has worked hard to manufacture it.
Yes, Prabhu. So, here, certain things man may produce. So we may say that, okay, fine, I understand that natural beauty is created by God. All the birds, animals are created by God. But sorry, this factory is created by him. So Prabhupada is very, very clear here. He's explaining how the Supreme Being is considered like a fire, that everything organic and inorganic is compared to the heat and light of the fire. So Krishna is like fire. So there may be, within the fire, there are two things, heat and light. Both are there inside the fire. Not only heat is there, only light is there. So anything which you see, just as fire distributes its energy in the form of heat and light, the Lord displays his energy in different ways. So if somebody says that, but this alcohol is found by human, it's not, God didn't supply alcohol. We found it is so nice. But if you see the ingredients, the water, whatever is the chemical, who supplied that raw material? Prabhupada asked this question. So anyway, it's supplied by Krishna only, directly or indirectly. It is not even indirect. It is direct only. So in different ways, in one way is doing that, and people combine 2-3 things together and says that I produced it. So here Prabhupada is giving another example for that also. So two things, he thus remains ultimate controller, sustainer, and dictator of everything. So ultimately, if you see, he is the controller and he is the one who sustains it and he dictates everything. Without Krishna's will, nothing will happen in this world. Everything moves. Sun moves in the fear of Lord. There's a beautiful slogan, Srimad Bhagavatam. The sun moves in the fear of Krishna. The moon moves in its own orbit and coming as a full moon and new moon again and again. And the sun is also creating day and night. Everything is out of fear of Krishna. So they are all under the control of Krishna. Fear of Krishna means he's the owner and he has dictated them to do so and they are doing so. That's it. He's there. He is not resigned his position. He's just there and he's making it happen. We are facing every day and night, rainy season, this season, that season. You think automated, it's just like that coming and nobody is there, automatically everything is happening. That is atheism. Just basic understanding should be there. If there is a system, there is a proprietor. So he is full of inconceivable opulence, completely, fully opulent. Opulent means Aishwarya. So Shad Aishwarya, you say 6 Aishwaryas, 6 opulences. That is full in power, fame, beauty, knowledge, renunciation. All are there. Here only 5 are there. Inconceivable opulence means wealth. So you have wealth. Unlimited wealth means everything belongs to him. That's all, finished, full stop. There's no comma then. Something belongs to somebody. No. Everything belongs to him, including yourself. Second, full power, completely in power. It is not that, oh, Unknowingly, some mistakes has happened because Krishna didn't notice. Not like that. Everything is under his control. And it is very nicely happening only under his control. So then he's very, very famous. How he is famous? Krishna is very famous. If you say, no, in America people didn't know Krishna. No, everybody know. How? Because they say God. You know the name, you don't know the name, but you're talking about God. That is fame. And there will be some atheists who say, the God is not there, God is not there. They have stage, they'll go and talk in the mic, wearing black shirt. They'll say that we are atheists, we don't believe, we are scientists, we are people with the sixth sense, we don't believe in God, in sentiments and religion and all that. Of course, religion and all create fights, and also they don't want it. And they are hating because some upper caste people are dominating the lower caste. The lower caste becomes rebellious, and they object the religion because the religion gave them some pain socially. So they say God is not there, but still they say something is not there. God is not there. They're talking about God. In this way, he's famous. Either people accept or reject, but they talk about God. Will you talk about an item which never existed? Because we don't know the name. There is one X item. It doesn't exist anywhere at all. That item doesn't exist. Give a speech on that. Say that you hate it. Say that it doesn't exist. To say something doesn't exist, it should exist. Then you say that this water bottle is not existing in this room, in that room, it is existing here. So even to say something is not there, it is there, but it is not there in this place. Something like that. So non-existing thing, there's no discussion. So if somebody says God is not there, not there, not there, that means God is actually there. That itself proves that God is there. For example, I am saying that water is not there. Water never, maybe I'm living in a desert and I have never seen water for many, many years. And I'm drinking some from plants and all that. Then I say that the water doesn't exist. So that means water means one item is there called water. It is existing somewhere. It is not existing here. So you're talking about it. How somebody can talk about something doesn't exist at all? Like this. So he's full of famous. Krishna is famous and he's full of beauty. Full of beauty. Anybody who sees him will get attracted. And the knowledge, full of knowledge, he knows everything. Abhigya Swarat. Abhigya means every single thing he knows. How many times you have breathed? That Krishna knows. What you're thinking in your mind, he's hearing it loudly. So there is nothing he doesn't know. Full knowledge and renunciation. Renunciation means even though he is the proprietor and owner of everything, and people claim that this is mine, that is yours, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, like this, and Krishna doesn't come and say that, no, Baba, I only created everything, Baba. He doesn't say that. He just keeps quiet and looks at this comedy. So he's completely renounced. It's okay. Doesn't care. Very hi-fi, very high class. So one should therefore be intelligent enough to know that except for the Lord, no one is the property. No one. Oh, okay. The Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON temple belongs to Krishna. Okay, fine. Whom does this IT building belongs to? That belongs to that company. No, that also belongs to Krishna. Organic or inorganic, you create it or what naturally it was created. In both cases, it belongs to Krishna only. So here, beautiful example is given by Srila Prabhupada that about the carpenter or something. You know, one should accept only things that are set aside by the Lord as his quota. Sometimes you may do something, produce something, you may earn something, but still it is not required that you need to enjoy that. Like for example, cow. Prabhupada is giving. Cow is producing milk. It is giving milk. You may cook some item in your home, very nice delicacy you may cook. It is not necessary you need to eat it. You have to offer it to Krishna and you can distribute to others also. So here, very magnanimous books. These are all very high class. You can see that. The cow, for instance, gives milk, but she doesn't drink that milk. She eats grass and straw. What is set aside is his quota. Oh, I produce milk, so I will only eat that. No, drink that. No. It just gives the milk, but she eats only the grass and straw. So same way, we may produce something doesn't mean we will enjoy that. Such is the arrangement of the Lord. Thus, we should be satisfied with those things. So we have set aside us, like for example, human beings are meant to eat only vegetarian. Of course, only prasadam, that we will see later how nice this is. But we dodge upon other person's food or life by eating meat. So these are all crossing our quota. So whatever is created, and you ask some meat eater, why you are doing it? He says that God has created everything for our enjoyment. It's written in the Bible that God created everything in this world for your enjoyment. Yes, God created your own baby for your enjoyment. Would you like to put some masala and make a curry out of him? If God has created something for my enjoyment, doesn't mean it is only for edibility. Oh, God created this for my enjoyment, so I won't put it in my head, but I'll eat it. So everything is not for God created animals for your enjoyment. It's written in the Bible. You see them, see the beautiful birds fly in the sky, and it's beautiful. Enjoy it in that way. It's not that everything you'll cut it and put it in your mouth. So everything is not for edibility. But still, because they already are addicted to meat, they give some their own perception. They just give some excuse. That's not related with neither related with religion, not related with logic. There's no logic in the talk also. So we should be satisfied with those things He has kindly set aside for us, and we should always consider to whom they belong. So here, Prabhupada is giving this example, very nice example. In our dwelling, in our living, which is made of earth, we see many items which are made of earth, wood, stone, iron, cement, many things, constructions. You're seeing buildings and so many things. In terms of Isopanisad, you must know that we cannot produce any of these building materials ourselves. You say, okay, some building belongs to me. No. If you see, okay, I created it. I manufactured this machine. It's made of steel, but it is made of. So it is made of some ingredient, and who gave that ingredient? It is from Krishna. I made the car. It belongs to Maruti company. It doesn't belong to Maruti company. Maruti company used raw material to produce it, and where from the raw material came. So we can simply bring them together and transform this into different shape by our labor. A laborer cannot claim to be the proprietor. What a beautiful logic. You see this. A laborer cannot claim if I'm a gold. What do they say? I make golden ornaments. What do they say for that? I'm in the sleeping mood. Okay.
Goldsmith.
Jewelry, are you saying?
No.
Goldsmith, Mataji.
Sorry. Goldsmith. So yes, Disha. Jewelry. Okay. So I am a goldsmith. And one man is coming and giving me 100 grams of gold and telling that you make such and such jewelry. So I labored. The raw material belongs to that other man. I labored on it and produced the jewelry. I can ask for some money for the labor. These are making charges. It's very heavily levied nowadays. And so I say making charges. The goldsmith may charge, but the goldsmith cannot say that this necklace belongs to me or whatever jewelry belongs to me because I created it. Sorry, Baba, the gold is given by somebody else. So a laborer cannot claim proprietorship. You're working in an IT company, you're producing some software. You're writing a lot of code and producing some software. After that, you say that, no, I wrote all this code and this software belongs to me. No, you're being paid salary for doing that work because you're only a laborer. The owner is there somewhere else. Same way, the owner, whatever you see in this world, some people say that I created it and he created, he's the owner, Reliance is the owner and he's the owner, he's very rich, and these people go behind him also. But who supplied him the raw material? Tata, very Tata salt, Tata salt. Who supplied the salt in the ocean? Krishna supplied the salt in the ocean. God is the owner of even that Tata salt. So there nothing greater with the person, laborer. He's just bringing things together. Okay, so now let's see further a little more on this. How much? Okay, 5 paragraphs are that. Okay, we can read all of them. Then we'll see if possible tomorrow we'll complete this. Yeah, at least 1 or 2 paragraphs here. Then we'll take questions. Somebody can read this.
In modern society, there is always a great quarrel between the laborers and the capitalists. This quarrel has taken an international shape, and the world is in danger. Men face one another in enmity and snarl just like cats and dogs. Sri Isha Upanishad cannot give advice to the cats and dogs, but it can deliver the message of Godhead to man through the bona fide acharyas, holy teachers. The human race should take the Vedic wisdom of Sri Isha Upanishad and not quarrel over material possessions. One must be satisfied with whatever privileges are given to him by the mercy of the Lord. There can be no peace if the communists or capitalists or any other party claims proprietorship over the resources of nature, which are entirely the property of the Lord. The capitalists cannot curb the communists simply by political maneuvering, nor can the communists defeat the capitalists simply by fighting for stolen bread. If they do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the property they claim to be their own is stolen. Consequently, they will be liable to punishment by the laws of nature. Nuclear bombs are in the hands of both communists and capitalists, and if both do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Lord, it is certain that these bombs will ultimately ruin both parties. Thus, in order to save themselves and bring peace to the world, both parties must follow the instructions of Sri Ishopanishad. Human beings are not meant to quarrel like cats and dogs. They must be intelligent enough to realize the importance and aim of human life. The Vedic literature is meant for humanity and not for cats and dogs. Cats and dogs can kill other animals for food without incurring sin. But if a man kills an animal for the satisfaction of his uncontrolled taste buds, he is responsible for breaking the laws of nature. Consequently, he must be punished. The standard of life for human beings cannot be applied to animals. The tiger does not eat rice and wheat or drink cow's milk because he has been given food in the shape of animal flesh. Among the many animals and birds, some are vegetarian and others are carnivorous, but none of them transgress the laws of nature, which have been ordained by the will of the Lord. Animals, birds, reptiles, and other lower life forms strictly adhere to the laws of nature. Therefore, there is no question of sin for them, nor are the Vedic instructions meant for them. Human life alone is a life of responsibility. It is wrong, however, to think that simply by becoming a vegetarian one can avoid transgressing the laws of nature. Vegetables also have life, and while it is nature's law that one living being is meant to feed on another, for human beings the point is to recognize the Supreme Lord. Thus, one should not be proud of being a strict vegetarian. Animals do not have developed consciousness by which to recognize the Lord, but a human being is sufficiently intelligent to take lessons from the Vedic literature and thereby know how the laws of nature are working and derive profit out of such knowledge. If a man neglects the instructions of the Vedic literature, his life becomes very risky. A human being is therefore required to recognize the authority of the Supreme Lord and become his devotee. He must offer everything to the Lord's service and partake only of the remnants of the food offered to the Lord. This will enable him to discharge his duty properly. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.26, the Lord directly states that he accepts vegetarian food from the hands of a pure devotee. Therefore, a human being should not only become a strict vegetarian but should also become a devotee of the Lord. Offer the Lord all his food and then partake of such prasadam or the mercy of God. Only those who act in this way can properly discharge the duties of human life. Those who do not offer their food to the Lord eat nothing but sin and subject themselves to various types of distress, which are the results of sin. Bhagavad Gita 3.13. The root of sin is deliberate disobedience to the laws of nature through disregarding the proprietorship of the Lord. Disobeying the laws of nature or the order of the Lord brings ruin to a human being. Conversely, one who is sober, who knows the laws of nature, and who is not influenced by unnecessary attachment or aversion, is sure to be recognized by the Lord and thus become eligible to go back to Godhead, back to the eternal home.
Thank you. So, very wonderful explanation of how we should know our quota. So some example Srila Prabhupada is giving here. The animals and birds, they stick to their own quota. Even animals and birds, we cannot compare them. So first he is talking about how the world, they are fighting. That this is mine, like this. So in modern society, there is always a great quarrel between laborers and capitalists. So the capitalist is becoming rich and rich and rich, and the laborers are becoming poor and poor and poor. So the laborers are being used, exploited by the capitalist, and the capitalist is living a very wealthy life. So because of this, there is a great fight. So here, Prabhupada is mentioning life is not meant to fight like cats and dogs. So Sri Isopanisad cannot give advice to the cats and dogs, but it can deliver message of Godhead to the man through a bona fide acharya. So the human race should take the Vedic wisdom of Sri Isopanisad and not quarrel over material possessions. So first we should know who is the owner. Then there is no problem about fighting at all, because we know that Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna only, and Krishna has given my quota. This is my quota. It's very naturally everybody can feel their quota. We should not destroy other person's quota. We should not go and get into their quota. So here, so by political maneuvering, they should not curb the communist. The communist should not, the capitalist should not simply by political maneuvering, nor the communists devote. So there are two kinds of people like Russia and all. Earlier was communism. So what is this communism and what is capitalism? This you need to understand basically. The capitalism is a thinking of progressive thinking. So what is this progressive thinking? Countries like US, they want factories, they want people to work, and they want improvement, modernization. And those who are into the business, they manipulate the money and they multiply the money by intelligence and business sense. And everybody is involved in this economy. That is capitalist country. But due to which this capitalism will gradually lead into groupism or segregation in the society. Poor people, middle class, lower, very, very poor people, below the poverty line, all these are created due to this capitalism. Those who are smart enough in business and cheaters and everybody, they grow up the ladder of economical status in the society. Due to this reason, some of the countries, they doesn't want these differences among people. So Russia kind of people, they have taken up communism. What does communism mean? Communism means everything belongs to government. And the government will supply equally to all the people. Don't worry. And in this country, there's no progressive thinking. Every factory belongs to government. Everything belongs to government only. And whatever is the earning, people, if they want to even buy, Prabhupada, when he went to Russia, I think one group is reading Prabhupada Leelamrita every Sunday, you would have come across Prabhupada's visit to Russia. So when he went with the two disciples, it is very difficult to get even the visa there. But there is one religious professor in religious studies in a university. So Prabhupada wrote to that professor. So for an interreligious talk, and I want to explain to you about this Krishna conscious religion. Then that professor said, yes, you can come, we can have, and he supplied the visa. So because of that, Prabhupada was able to go with the two or three of his disciples. So when he went to Moscow, the disciples, they won't eat anything other than prasadam. So they ran outside like any other devotee. As soon as you reach the city, you see, okay, where to eat, because. So they went there out and they saw they cannot buy, there's no shops. They have to buy the rice only in government shops. What do you say now? Ration shop. Now we have ration shop in India. So there is private also, there is ration also. But in USSR, it was only, at that time it was USSR, and it was only ration shop. And there was very long queues. In every shop, there was a very, very long queue. So if you go and stand in the queue, you want to buy rice, and it's given only in a quota. You cannot buy in bulk 10 kg, 20 kg. You can buy only 2 kg, 3 kg per day. That much like quota. So the government is setting all that. So water, everything is in ration. So that is communist saying that we will divide and give among the citizens, and they are not able to do it in a proper way. So there is a constant fight going on between capitalist and communist. Communists are telling that you don't have a forward thinking and will be materialistic, and they increase the material desire and material products and products. Now you see in India, it is going into capitalism. It was privatized from government. Privatization, globalization, these terms came before maybe 20, 25 years back. And then everything was privatized. Now also, even railways, they are thinking to privatize. Their buses, they want to privatize. And gradually, banks got privatized. Earlier, there was only government banks. But now you are having both government, some government banks, and mostly is private banks. There's no government bank, hardly any cooperative bank, something. For village loans and all you have. Otherwise, with collaboration with government, some are doing totally private, like privatization. So in this economy, keep on unnecessary things are produced. If you go into Amazon, you'll see so many things for sale. If you go in the road, you'll see malls and malls come and buy mine, offer this, that. They're just behind us. Buy my item and product and produce. Whatever unnecessary is also produced, and it's all in various colors and shapes and sizes. Everything is there. This is capitalist economy. And crazy production, crazy materialism. And they just want to increase now we have analytics, how much each one is consuming, what is his taste, what is his, so customize according, and then push message, calls, would you like to buy that, would you like to take this insurance, this, that, like this, keep on marketing. So this is capitalist economy. In communist economy, it's very dull and it's almost like dead, but there is fighting. So the capitalists cannot curb the communists simply by political manner, nor can the communists defeat the capitalists simply by fighting for a stolen bread. Means they supply stolen bread, or sometimes when the government managed countries, they have the bread and they won't supply. And when the supply, it became stale bread after 3 days, 5 days, they supply, because anyway it will get spoiled in the go down. Then they will supply extra, because they are giving only in limited quota, and whatever is there, it is required, they'll keep on then like this. So this is, and they have mostly during Prabhupada time, this very strong friction between America and Russia was happening. So this is Prabhupada is mentioning that nuclear bombs in the hand of both communist and capitalist, and if both do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Lord, the bombs will ultimately rule in the both. The same Second World War happened also. Thus, in order to save themselves, to bring peace in the world, they should understand it belongs to Krishna only. It doesn't neither belongs to government nor belongs to the person who has the capital. Who's a capitalist? A capitalist is a person who can invest in building factories, in starting a business. So he's called a capitalist. He puts the money into the business, rotates, and takes the profit. So it's into the private hands. So when it is into the government hands, it is communism. So, but anyway, that big fight going on between them. So, first, Prabhupada is mentioning that one should realize that the Vedic literature, we should not fight like cats and dogs, rather understand that everything belongs to Krishna. And second is, how the human beings are, that cannot be applied to animals. But even animals, if you see, they are very, very wonderful. The tiger does not eat rice or wheat or drink cow milk because he has been given food in the shape of animal flesh. So he is not crossing beyond his quota. One day the tiger didn't get any food, it is hungry. Have you ever seen it grazing the grass? In Tamil, there is a proverb. The tiger, even if it is hungry, it will not graze the grass like this. So it won't eat the grass. So among animals, there are some are vegetarian, carnivorous, herbivorous, and all that. But as far as and all of them follow their own nature. But if you see the human being, his teeth, his digestive system, if it is carnivorous animal, it will have longer nails and extra teeth and all that. With that, the carnivorous can be identified. By the digestive system itself, we can identify it's herbivorous or carnivorous. So the carnivorous animal have special features like extra teeth, because they need to be on the flesh and tear the flesh and all that. So it is given the digestive system as it is can digest the raw meat. But if you see human being, if you see the features, we are mammals. Second, we are herbivorous. It is proven by the way we have our teeth, the nails, we don't have that much nail which can tear the meat and all that. And our digestive system, intestine, is made to digest only vegetarian food. So it's very clearly known, but still we transgress. We cross beyond the line. We are transgressing the law of nature. So even the vegetables also have life. So very, very important. It is wrong, however, to think that simply by becoming a vegetarian, one can avoid the transgressing the law of nature. Because how the animals are having life, same way plants are all having life. This is also another argument of non-vegetarians saying that, see, you are also eating one plant's body only, plant also has life only. That is true. That is true. So we are also committing sin. We are eating part of a living entity's body. That we should know. Okay, that's part of the, even if it's fruit or whatever flower, it is also. But of course, the tree doesn't die fully. Tree doesn't die fully. If we take a fruit or a flower, banana flower, if I take, the tree is not dying. If I take some fruit, apple from the apple tree doesn't die. If I don't take anyway, it's going to fall down. But still, you're transgressing the law. Why? Because that apple belongs to whom? It belongs to Krishna. And you didn't give recognition to Krishna. So one time when Prabhupada was there and some devotees were sitting around him, all were foreigners. So that time when the conversation was happening, one of the devotees was very proud because from birth he was vegetarian. Others were all from meat-eating family because they were all Westerners and they are from childhood, they'll give chicken soup and this and that. So that boy was very proud and he told Prabhupada, from my birth I was vegetarian. So all of them felt really bad that they are from very sinful background. So, and he said that from childhood I have not eaten any meat, I am a vegetarian from childhood. So Prabhupada said, so what? Even elephant and monkeys are vegetarian. So what? So what is so proud to be a vegetarian? There is nothing to be proud to be a vegetarian, because you are also eating an animal body part only. Because here Prabhupada is mentioning vegetables also have life. And while it's a nature's law that one living being is meant to feed another, for human being, the point is to recognize the Supreme Lord. Every animal, tiger means if it is eating meat, it's no sin, because that is the quota. And if it's cow, it'll eat grass. Like this, every living entity has its own quota, and it is just playing within that quota only. And even if they don't recognize God, that's okay, because they are animals. But for human alone, you have to recognize God. For this, Prabhupada gives another very nice example. Okay, we will see that maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow you have a group discussion, presentation to be done. Means you have to, preaching application you have to do from this. I'll put the question in the group. So one should not be proud that he is a strict vegetarian. Animals do not have to develop consciousness by which to recognize Lord. But a human being is sufficiently intelligent to take lessons from Vedic literature. So unless you are a devotee of Krishna, you are totally like an animal only. It's worse than animal, because animal doesn't need to recognize God because they are animals. But you are a human being and you don't recognize the provider of the items which you eat, then again you are worse than animal. So this is very, very essential. A human is expected to behave in a responsible way. Okay, I'll give you that example also, which very nice example Srila Prabhupada gives. Yes, sorry, every day we are going till 10:30. The reason is 1 hour is not enough. 1.5 hours is required. We are joining at 9:10 like that. Okay, anyway. If you go to a collector's office, you will see that the collector is provided with a very nice table, chair, phone, all facilities, AC, everything. And he has a car in which he's coming and going. Very, very nice facility. But there's a peon sitting outside the collector's room, and he's not provided. He's just provided a bench, and he just need to sit there. And he's not provided with anything, phone or car or anything. Why? Can any of you say? Prabhupada is giving this example. Why is it that the same office, both of them are there, but a collector is given so many facilities, but a peon is not given? Why?
Because of the position, ma'am.
The work which they both does, the differentiation of work and activities and responsibilities, all that things.
Yes, you got the point. Of course, the position comes with the responsibility, not just the position. A dummy fellow sitting in the position, sitting in the chair. No, it's the responsibility he has in a responsible position. He has to carry out so much work and responsibility. So a human being is given more intelligence than an animal. If the animal is eating and sleeping and mating and defending, and you also do that, then your human body will be snatched away. And next life, 100% you will get only animal body. Guaranteed animal body. Because you did the same thing which the animal did, maybe in a deluxe version. The animal is doing it in the road and you are doing it at home, in the shelter. But you are doing the same thing. But a human being is expected, because he has better intelligence and he can read the Vedic scriptures and understand the purpose of life. He is expected to behave more responsible. That is why we are provided better facilities. Compared to any animal, human being is provided better, like a collector. We are provided with many good facilities. And because we are supposed to carry out a duty, responsibility. So then only. So what is that responsibility? He must offer everything for the Lord's service and partake only of the remnants of food offered to the Lord. This will enable him to discharge his duty properly. So he has better duty to be done, and this will help him to discharge the duty properly. So it is very essential. So offering foodstuff to Krishna is not optional, it's mandatory. At least we have to chant Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, and recognize the Supreme Lord's providing that to us. That Lord, by kindly, He has provided that food. Even in other religions, they have prayers before eating food. Thank you, God, for providing this food to us. Basically, minimum that much they do. And for putting the bread on my table, my dear Lord, thank you very much. Like this, minimum. So when there is no recognition of the Supreme Lord and just I am a vegetarian, it doesn't matter whether you are vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Animals, Prabhupada, as Prabhupada said, that there are certain animals which are vegetarian. Janwar, that's all, finished. Whether you are a cow, goat or a tiger, Janwar is Janwar, animal is animal. Just an animal, that's it. I'm a high class animal, I'm a low class, but anyway, you're an animal. So, first of all, every sin starts by not recognizing the Supreme Lord. Deliberate disobedience to the law of nature. Okay, what do I do? How do I deliberate disobedience to the law of nature? How do I do it? Because you are disregarding the proprietorship of the Lord. Lord is the owner. You have to first recognize and accept it. And understand that kindly He has given you some quota. And whatever quota I am having in my hand, that is simply given to me by my Lord. So I have to offer it to Him and then only take it. So disobeying the law of nature or the order of the Lord brings a human being ruins. Yeah. So the person who is not influenced by unnecessary attachment or aversion, hating something, liking something. Who are you to hate something or like something of somebody else's property? So one who is not doing it and is staying in an equipoised manner, he is the only person who is eligible to go back to Godhead. Everybody cannot go. So Lord, and thus becomes eligible to go back. Very nice example Srila Prabhupada is giving. With that, we'll stop here. And I'll put you a preaching application for tomorrow, 2 or 3 questions. You choose your favorite question and then prepare it and come for a presentation tomorrow. Okay, a presentation means it need not be in the form of PPT. You may not have time if you're working. You can just come and speak on it also. But we don't expect more than 3 minutes. Only 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. That's all, because we have to share with everybody. Okay. One nice example of Srila Prabhupada I would like to tell and conclude the session. Any questions I can take after that. There was a man who was standing outside Bank of America. A man is standing outside the Bank of America and he's telling that whatever is in the bank belongs to me. Everything belongs to me, and he's trying to go in and take. Then immediately police comes to arrest him because he's a robber, he's a thief. He's telling that whatever is in the Bank of America is mine. At the same time, a man is sitting outside the Bank of America and he's saying that, no, I don't want any of that. This is not mine. I don't want any of this. I'm renouncing it. Come, you take it. I want to donate everything. I'll take it. I don't want it. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll donate. I'll renounce. So immediately a van from, earlier police van came, no. When he said it's mine. Now a crazy hospital van is coming. Mad hospital van to take him to the mad hospital. Because how can you renounce something which you don't possess? The Bank of America, all the account, does it belong to you? You say that, no, I don't want it. Anybody want, you take it. I don't want anything in the Bank of America. Excuse me, it doesn't belong to you. At the same time, you cannot say that everything belongs to me. Yeah, I own this, I have this. Then they'll come and arrest you. So if you're in this world, so many items you're seeing, everything belongs to Krishna. If you try to take it, you're a robber. Trying to do sense gratification, try to enjoy everything in this world, you're a robber. And if you say, no, I'm renouncing, I don't want anything in this world, then you're a madman. Because it doesn't belong to you. How can you renounce? And another very nice example Srila Prabhupada is giving, a person, a man saying that I'm renouncing the home, I'm renouncing the family, and he goes to forest. And after going to the forest, he starts doing dhyana under a tree. He's doing this meditation under some tree. And in the morning, he went to the nature's call and he want to take bath in the river. He has gone nearby to take bath in the river. At that time, another new person who has also renounced like that the home and everything, he came and he saw that under every tree some yogi is sitting. This tree is empty. So he is coming and sitting there. So this early old yogi, he comes back and says that, hey, this is my tree. You get up and go. So you renounce everything at home. This is not mine. This is not mine. After going to the forest, this is my tree. So Prabhupada says that you have your interest for proprietorship is there in you. The tree also belongs to Krishna. The home also belongs to Krishna. So understand the recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then you can live anywhere in proper conscious of God in spiritual life. It's possible. Grahetako, vanetako, sada hari boletako. Grahetako, live in graha. Vanetako, live in graha. Vana doesn't matter. Sada hari boletako. So you just chant Hare Krishna and live everywhere, and there is no issue. You recognize the Lord, offer very nice foodstuffs and other items to the Lord, and very nicely worship the Lord, and then you are a righteous person. And if there is no recognition of the Lord, even if you are a vegetarian, you're like an animal only. Oh, I'm a vegetarian. Okay, animal or many vegetarian animals are there. So there is no difference between animal and human life if you're just vegetarian, non-vegetarian. Unless you become a devotee and accept the proprietorship of the Lord. Okay, any questions or comments? All of you are in the sleeping zombie. I heard one sneezing sound. Who's that? Somebody wanted a question to be asked. Is this sneezing or snoring? Ah, somebody raising the hand. Who's that? How to raise the hand is you go to the participants and go to your name and then you right click on the name. Okay. Then you will get raise hand. Okay. I'll count down. Before that, if you have question, kindly. Yeah.
Actually, like in the purport, Prabhupada gave examples like being vegetarian and understanding our quota in that sense. How do we understand our quota in general in our life when we are working? Are we overdoing it and trying to get things that are not in our quota? How do we recognize things in our life practically like that?
Practically, naturally, it is arranged. Like, for example, you are born in some home. Each one is born in a particular scenario. And each one is put in a particular education, naturally. Without over-endeavor. Even if you over-endeavor, what you need to get only, you'll get. And illegal means we know what is legal and illegal in this world. For example, if take a politician, he may not be educated and he may not be from a good background, but he may cheat people and take tax money. They are all called cheating. But otherwise, normally, we all are forcefully given into a particular situation, and that situation is our quota. By its own accord, it will come to us. Little endeavor will put in that situation that is mandatory. For example, if I am studying in school, I should not say that, okay, my mark will come on its own accord. Not like that. I'll put my effort when exam is coming, whatever possible effort I'll put. Whatever mark is coming is my quota. Of course, I'll try to, reasonable endeavor I'll do. That endeavor has to be there. But atyaharascha prayasascha, prayasa means too much frustration and I am trying to become this UPSC and I want to become collector. So day and night, like I don't eat, I don't sleep. This is over endeavor is not appreciated. That mental frustrating over endeavor. But in a casual, normal way, whenever exam comes, whenever interview comes, you just need to perform. And due to your performance, whatever you are getting, due to your situation, what you are getting, it is destined here and you can feel it. Everybody can feel that. And in that, they need to perform, of course. They need to perform within that arena. It's natural, one can know. Yes, Santosh Nitai Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I just want to ask, see, all these three modes are acting on us, and they are fighting against each other in order to, and they are using us as an instrument. This way, right? So whatever we perform is actually because of the three modes of material nature. But
Didn't come in the purport.
but my question is, so since we perform some activity, so that is under the modes, so that is not ours. The activity we perform, so because we are under the control of the three modes of material nature, so then how is this karma related, and then how do we get our results of our endeavor? And also, like it was stated that whatever you do, because that is not yours, that's why the result you have to offer it to the Supreme Lord. So how is this karma related, and whatever we perform, how do we get the result of that karmic reactions?
When you say we, what does that mean?
Like
You
me,
say that we are under three modes of material nature.
I am under three modes of material nature. So if I am doing
Are
some
you under three modes of material nature? Who are you?
so I am spirit soul.
So, prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. So, which actually means prakrite kriyamanani. In the material world, material things are happening in their own accord. Like the body is undergoing old age and disease. Is it under your control? It's not
No.
under your control. So, the body's deterioration is not under your control. But you as a spirit soul has to recognize the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What it has to do with karma, I don't understand. What is your crux of the question? Activity, it has nothing to do with the activity. It is to do with the consciousness that recognizing the proprietorship of the Lord of every item which you see non-moving, moving. In this world, whatever you're seeing, first of all, recognize it belongs to Krishna. You understood?
Yeah, understood.
Activity comes later. Only about eating, Prabhupada is telling that offer and eat. Other than that, other items, other activity, nothing Prabhupada has touched as of now. So simply recognizing when you go to the world and you see now hereafter any item which you see, everything you see, that moving or non-moving belongs only to Krishna. Yeah, I am not the proprietor. Certain aspects of life are given to me. I'm given a particular salary. I'm giving a particular lifestyle, particular beauty. All opulences are given to us also in a particular quota. Some are not very wealthy, some are wealthy, some are poor, some are rich, some are beautiful, some are tall, some are short. Different features and facilities are given to us. That is our quota. This is my quota. I'm born with a particular feature. So this is my quota which is given to me. A certain education. Everything is given. So this how it has to do with the three modes of nature, I don't understand.
No,
Because the body only three modes of material nature. So there are the matter naturally undergoes deterioration. The matter naturally undergoes birth, death, old age, disease. This is naturally happening. What am I to do with that? What is the question exactly?
no, my question was, so we are given something, basis what? Basis some sort of activity which we have already done in past because of our some good deeds or bad deeds.
Okay.
So that deeds, whatever we did,
Okay.
was influenced by three modes of material nature.
Maybe. Okay.
So, if three modes of mental nature influenced me to do some activity,
Okay.
how is it my karma? But whatever result I am getting here,
Santosh Nita, I have a simple question. Is it relevant to today's session, or you're just generally asking some question?
no, so it's
We have
not
not gone to
exactly
Bhagavad Gita.
related.
We have not touched Bhagavad Gita. Nothing. So in this session, in whatever purport we read, of course I can answer your question, but it is so deviating. So I'm asking. We never discussed anything with the three modes of material nature. We have not touched the fundamentals of Bhagavad Gita. Also, I didn't. I mean, fundamentals of Krishna consciousness. I didn't take also because I assume that devotees who are chanting rounds can understand Isopanisad easily.
Yeah,
Is it
it's not.
relevant to today's
No,
session?
no, no, it's not.
Karma, three modes, this we never touched till now. We'll come back because others also has to catch up with this. So surely we'll be with this. Huh? You park this question. You park this question aside, and in the appropriate time we can address. Okay,
Okay,
Prabhuji.
okay, Mataji. Yes,
Sorry,
yes.
huh?
Okay,
Sorry,
okay.
huh?
Yes, Mataji. Okay.
Forgive me. Okay. Okay. Any other questions or comments? You can put it in the WhatsApp group. Now you people have to go to sleep also. I don't want to hold you for a long time. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai. Vanchakalpatarabhyasta kripa sindhubhyeva
Pranam Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai
Krishna
Jai
Gaura Premanande.
Hare Hare Bol.